Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I can receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I be standing around here prosecuting? Fair enough. He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work. You don't get paid for this? Then why are you still doing it? You've been doing this however many years at this point. Why are you still doing this job if you're not getting paid? What the hell, man? You're supposed to request the money up front. Hey guys, Zack here, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy. So in the last episode, we found out that, long story short, Matt Engard is the center of everything. Apparently he manipulated everybody involved in the case, and now he's trying to get him not guilty by manipulating Phoenix into defending him in court, even though he's obviously guilty. Yeah, things aren't looking too great going into this. And long story short, and also he is responsible for he is responsible for Maya being kidnapped. So yeah, everything leads back to Matt Engard. Matt Engard is the center of everything, as I said. But in any case, we're gonna get into this, and we're gonna try and weasel our way out of this. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to actually find a way to save Maya and get Matt Engard guilty, but that's gonna be interesting if we can, because obviously, we're in a unique position where obviously our client is guilty, but if we don't defend him in court, then Maya's gonna get hurt. So, yeah, we need to get him a full acquittal or to save Maya, but we can't defend him in court, so we're in a catch-22 situation. How are we going to get out of this one? But in any case, let's continue onward with this. Open. Oh, we have come full circle, friends. This was at the beginning of the first chapter. Grr, how did I get into this mess? I don't know, Phoenix. How did you get into this? That's far enough. You can't run forever. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Such an amazing visual. What have I done wrong? I cannot allow you to go on like this. But I'm just a simple defense attorney. Silence! You are no longer worthy of your title. Okay, well. I've had this dream before. Someplace, some time ago. As if this day was written into my destiny. Today, I'll stand in court as a lawyer to prove a killer innocent. March 23rd, 9:43 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Okay, that's where we're starting. How are we going to get out of this one? Beep. Hello, this is Phoenix Wright. You don't look so well, dude. You're gonna prove me not guilty today, right? Ooh. Ha ha ha. If you please, Mr. Lawyer. Remember, it's not just me. Your precious friend's life is riding on today's verdict, too. Grr. Now listen up. You better get on guard and guilty sentence, okay? If you get that creepy slime bag and not guilty, I'll never forgive you. Ever. Maya. Phoenix? Phoenix! Mia! Maya, how's Maya? I don't know. You don't know? She hasn't tried to channel me since yesterday. Mia, what am I supposed to do? Well, like I said, for a lawyer, the worst of times are when you have to force your biggest smiles. But you can't give up. There's still some hope left. Stop it, please. There's nothing left. Not here, not anywhere. It's that accursed Engard again. Beep. Will you leave me alone? Look, don't call me anymore. I mean it. You're really mean, pal. Ah! Gumshoe! I'm really, really sorry. Where are you? They left me join the investigation team and we're chasing after the killer, pal. Then you have some sort of lead? Sorry, but right now we've got 0 leads on the guy. But we're not gonna give up. Gumshoe. Until the trial is over, until the verdict is handed down, we're going to do everything we can and find the killer. If we can't get Maya out, then you can get on guard the guilty verdict he deserves, pal. That's true, I could do that if they found Maya first. You got that? So you have to do whatever you can to make the trial last longer. I have to make the trial last longer? If you go at Mr. Edgeworth with everything you've got, then you two can draw it out. Oh, now I get it. I believe in you, pal. You and Mr. Edgeworth can do it. So, believe in us. We're going to get it all we've got, just like you. Got it. Thanks, Gumshoe. Okay, so we gotta bounce off Edgeworth to keep the trial going until they can find the killer. Hey, Phoenix. You understand now, don't you? You have something money will never be able to buy. Friendship. It's the strongest weapon in the world, and you have it in abundance. Yeah! Is this really gonna be a power... the friendship is my power type thing? Really? Looks like we're coming to the end. I have to make the trial last as long as I can. Gumshoe will come through, I know it. Alright, so... March 23rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 3. So, in other words, me and Edgeworth gotta work together to keep the trial going until they find, where the killer is holed up. Court is now in session for the trial of Matt on guard. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Now, as I recall, we concluded yesterday's session with a big mystery on our hands. The mystery being, what exactly was Miss Adrian Andrews' role in this murder? That is to say, is she really connected to the crime itself? Mr. Edgeworth, if you would please inform the court of today's proceedings. Adrian Andrews. She forged evidence that threw suspicion on Mr. On guard. And then proceeded to escape in the crime scene by wearing a nickel samurai costume. The guilt of these actions are now for those from which she cannot escape. Then are you saying she is guilty after all? I'm not finished, Your Honor. Miss Andrews has nothing to do with committing the actual murder. I would like to direct the court's attention to this card. What is that? It looks like a shell. This is the calling card for a certain assassin. Assassin, you say? Yes, one career was killed by a professional assassin. And the person who hired the assassin, his client, so to speak, is Matt on guard. Well, Edgeworth, you're not helping. What a surprising turn of events. Well, Edgeworth, I need you to help me. I would think it's best it's become commonplace by now, Your Honor. I know what's going on this time. So I know that everything Edgeworth has said is true. But we still have to hold it out as long as we can. At least, until Maya's safe and sound. I wonder how the trial will turn out today. Now then, please call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls the defendant's mentor, Mr. Willpowers, to the stand. Hi, Willie. Now then, witness, your name and occupation, please. Okay. I'm, Willpowers. I'm a poor, underpaid action star. And what is your relation to the defendant? Well, I guess I'm sort of a lousy mentor to him in a way. Yeah. Mr. Powers, please, you don't need to put yourself down so much. Sorry. Well, but I'm just a kind of nothing sort of guy. On the night of the murder, you visited the defendant's room. Is this correct? Yes. I didn't know that. But, you know, I didn't actually get to see Matt when I went. All you need to do is answer what you asked. Now then, I would like you to please testify about when you went to Mr. Unguard's room. Okay, sure. So, okay. So now it's do or die time. We gotta keep the trial going. Just however we can. We gotta keep the trial going. After the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Matt was standing there in front of his room, still in his nickel samurai costume. Ah, and there's the killer. He was talking with someone. At first, I thought it was the bellboy. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. I had guests with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Nothing sounds out of place in Mr. Power's testimony. And talking with the bellboy is no big deal. If one assumes that the person Mr. Enguard was speaking with was an ordinary bellboy, what are you implying? Oh, because Enguard isn't... Because... well, Mr. Wright, let's have your cross-examination, shall we? Looks like we're in another sticky situation. Huh? A trap. Can't you smell it, Phoenix? I do? Because we know... Because I already know the answer to this. I already know the answer to this. The killer was the bellboy. So, yeah. There's no... We are walking right into a trap. But for us to find out more, we're just going to have to charge in head first, right? Alright. Alright, visit to Matt's room. Alright. Okay, after the award ceremony, I went by myself to Matt's room. Press everything! The defendant's room. Why did you go there? Well, I'm his mentor, like a big brother sort of, and I wanted to say congrats. What's wrong? Why did you stop? Mr. Wright? What is it? You're going to try to trick me into a corner, aren't you? Huh? I know I'm just a poor underpaid action star, but I'm not the killer. No, we know you're not. No one said you were, Mr. Powers. No, please, don't trick me. Every time you do your lawyer thing, the witness suddenly turns into the bald guy. Into the bad guy. Okay, well, every time... Well, the bald guy, yes. The first time, it was indeed a bald man. But, yeah, Mr. Sawit. He was bald. So, and he wound up being the first murder person. But, we solved that case. But in any case, every time, witness. I will personally talk to the defense at a later time. So for now, please kindly cooperate and continue with your testimony. Sorry. So you went to the defendant's room, and then... Hey, wait a minute! When and how did I suddenly turn into the bad guy here? Fair enough. I was standing there in front of his room still in his nickel samurai costume. Alright. Alright. Are you sure that was Matt Enguard? Yeah, I'm sure. He wasn't wearing the nickel samurai mask then. If that's the case, then he really can't be mistaken. And... what was the defendant doing, standing in front of his own room? Edgeworth has no pit chill today. He was talking with someone. At first I thought it was the bellboy. At first? What do you mean by that? Well, he was in a bellboyish uniform and he had a bottle of juice on a tray. Sounds like an ordinary bellboy to me. Yeah, but... I didn't think he was a normal bellboy. And why was that? Why did I think that, Mr. Wright? How am I supposed to know? Sorry, but I can't remember right now. Sorry. I guess I'm going to have to wait patiently on this one. I watched the two of them for a while, but then I gave up and went back. You saw the two of them, the bellboy and the defendant, together, correct? Yeah, the bellboy just wanted to say congrats. Now, while you were watching the two of them, did you notice anything strange? You know, I did feel something weird. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. A tip? But that's a perfectly normal thing to do. So, how long did you watch the two of them? Not more than a minute or two, I think. I guess with me that night, and I couldn't make them wait for me. Okay, so, LB. What do we got? So, what are these guests, who are these guests you're talking about? Phoenix, did you really just ask that question? I mean, I know we need it on the record, but yeah, you, of course, you and Maya and Lil Pearl. I thought it would be really rude since I invited you guys if I disappeared on you. So I went back to my seat pretty soon after seeing Matt in the hallway. This is like squeezing water from a stone. It's probably pointless to press further. Do you remember this incident? Did Mr. Powers leave his seat that night? I don't remember that happening at all. Maya was making such a racket in her hyper state. I ended up focusing on her. I see. In any case, from his story, he probably wasn't gone for very long. Alright. Alright. First... How am I supposed to know? Wait a second. Actually, Mr. Powers, only a few minutes ago, you stated... you know, I did feel something weird. Okay, so we had to press him again on it. I think it was because Matt, well, he gave the bellboy a tip. Could it be that you felt something strange about the tip-giving incident itself? Ah, yeah, that's it. You really know your job. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor? This bellboy, he wasn't an ordinary one, was he? Perhaps we should let the witness tell us. Very well. Mr. Powers, please amend your testimony. You mean about the bellboy, right? Alright, Matt gave the bellboy a tip. Alright. Okay. So he gave the bellboy a tip. What's so strange about that? Oh, well, you see, Matt's not a poor penny pincher like me. I was trying to figure out how much it was because the tip really shocked me. How much it was. But that's when something even more surprising happened. The bellboy was putting the tip he got into his pocket. And that's when I got my first good look at the guy's face. I was really shocked. I'm afraid I don't follow at all. It sounds like Mr. Powers was surprised twice by this event. I wonder which of his shocking moments I should ask about. The bellboy's face. Probably should start with that. What was so shocking about the bellboy's face, Mr. Powers? Well, he wasn't exactly a boy, more like an old gramps. Ahem, I'm hoping you know that discrimination toward old men is a no-no in my court. Fair enough. No, that's not what I meant at all. In the smack middle of the guy's face, there was a line of stitches. A line of stitches? Yeah, and it went straight from the tippy top of his head to the bottom of his chin. Almost like as if that thread snapped, all the stuff in his head would come spilling out. Ah! And now Phoenix has gotten it. He was there, at Engard's house. He was that butler! What is it, Mr. Wright? Nothing, Your Honor. So that means Engard was talking with the killer then. In fact, if the fact were to be exposed, Engard would be declared guilty in a blink of an eye. Phoenix, you have to play dumb here. Pretend you don't know anything. Yes, Chief. You sure you don't have anything you would like to say, Mr. Wright? Huh? What did you just say, Your Honor? Nothing, Mr. Wright, nothing. We're just going around and around in circles. Now then, Mr. Powers, please continue with your testimony. Alright. I watched the two of them for a while, but they gave up and went back. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna press him again on this, because there's another route I could have gone here. I'm gonna go with Engard's tip, since I know that that's a thing. The defendant is a huge star. He can afford to give generous tips. Wouldn't you agree? Sure. But giving him that much was maybe a little too much, I think. A little too much? Would you please clarify that for the court? About how much you would say the defendant gave to the bellboy? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even begin to guess. And why is that? Because he gave the bellboy a really, really fat roll of cash. A roll of cash? Well, how interesting. That certainly was a very generous tip, wasn't it? A very fat roll of cash. That can hardly be called a tip, Your Honor. The judge is beginning to look awfully suspicious of us. Raise an objection. The defendant is a superstar. That kind of tip is typical fare for people like him. Okay, this is good. This is not going well. Are you saying that all superstars are super spenders? If I can receive large rolls of cash by simply bringing people things on trays, then why on earth would I be standing around here prosecuting? Fair enough. He's got a point. I don't even get paid, let alone rolls of cash for all my hard work. You don't get paid for this? Then why are you still doing it? You've been doing this however many years at this point. Why are you still doing this job if you're not getting paid? What the hell, man? You're supposed to request the money up front. So supposing that roll of cash was not a tip, then what was it? Payment, Your Honor. Payment? Okay. Isn't it obvious? For the murder of Mr. Juan Carrera. Then... Then the bellboy the witness saw. Yes, he was the assassin. Hold your horses now. Mr. Entworth, you don't have any proof of this, do you? Have I ever been unprepared to support my claims, Your Honor? No, but then again, I'm Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I'm pretty sure I can kind of poke holes in whatever you show me, so... And I kind of have to if I want to save Maya's ass, so bring it? I have here the card Shelly the Killer left at the scene of the crime. Shelly, the Killer. He is the person the police's special investigations team has been chasing for ages. I am certain that the person the witness saw was this very assassin, Shelly the Killer. Really? What's wrong, Mr. Powers? No, nothing. Something just clicked in my head and I think I just figured something out. Oh? Actually, I saw that bellboy again later on that night. What? Okay. Mr. Powers, please testify. Tell us what you saw. Testify, man! Testify! Yes, sir! Right away! I'm making stupid jokes, but you get my point. The second time! Alright. This time, I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. And that's when that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Of course, when I say room, I meant Wakarita's room. Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kinda out of place. Yeah, so he had to be the assassin, I'm sure of it. I mean... Thank you very much. That is all we need for now. Huh? But I'm not done. There's still more. Let's first establish that the bellboy was truly Mr. the Killer. Then we shall see. So the bellboy came out of the victim's room. And if that bellboy really was the assassin, then I think the answer is fairly obvious. That would be correct, Your Honor. Well, Mr. Wright, I believe it's your turn to entertain and make us laugh. Well, I am trying to draw out the trial so that Gumshoe can find Maya and the killer before something bad happens, and then we can get on guard declared guilty. We can't really do anything like that, until she's found. So we kind of have to stall for time. Ha 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 ha. This is no laughing matter. All right, the second time. The second Tim. Okay. This time I was in that hallway because I had to go to the bathroom. Just press everything. Okay, he doesn't really remember. Yeah, the award ceremony ended around 8 p.m., right? And I went to Matt's room pretty soon after that, and then I came back. And then I went to the bathroom. So I guess maybe it was around 8:10 by that time? You're not one for details, are you, Mr. Powers? Sorry. I thought I could maybe catch Matt and say my congrats. And that's when I saw that bellboy I saw earlier came out of the room. Are you sure it was the same bellboy? Yeah. And how could you tell? All the bellboys wear the same uniform after all. But, you see... Well, he had those stitches in his face. So I'm sure it's the same guy that was talking with Matt. So which room did the bellboy come out of? Alright, keep pressing. Of course, when I say room, I mean Guacari's room. Press! The victim's room, huh? Yeah, the one with all the really pretty flowers and teddy bears. It was Juan's room, alright. Words cannot describe how screwed I am. Let's continue with the testimony, shall we? Now that I think about it, that bellboy did seem kind of out of place. How out of place? So what exactly was so out of place about him? Right. Why the insipid grin? Maybe because I have no idea what damaging thing he's going to say next? Well, the bellboy was empty-handed. Empty-handed? That bellboy was one of those room service people, right? But he wasn't pushing a cart and he wasn't holding a tray either. You'd call that a little strange too, wouldn't you? I agree that it is a bit strange, Mr. Powers. But is it really that unusual for a bellboy to be empty-handed? What should I do? Should I let Mr. Powers' testimony slide, or try to pull a fast one? I don't know. If we can stall for time, we should. Probably not gonna do as many favors with the... I'm gonna just... Hold on. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save. So that I'm not entirely screwed. Try to pull a fast one. There's nothing strange or unusual about an empty-handed bellboy. But there really is. There really isn't. Alright, if you two are done being school children, bellboys are for room service. There is no reason for them to be empty-handed, ever. Your Honor, I ask that the witness' previous statement be supplanted with this new one. Edgeworth, are you going to do whatever you can to make the bellboy look suspicious? I see. Very well, this court recognizes and grants the prosecution's request. Mr. Powers, if you could amend your testimony, please. Yes, sir. I thought it was kind of strange for a bellboy to come out of a guest room empty-handed. Alright, keep pressing. Alright, so you're saying that it's suspicious for him to be empty-handed. Yeah, really suspicious. I mean, when I first saw that bellboy, he was holding a tray in his hand. And there was a bottle of juice and a wine glass on it. A juice? What kind of juice was it? I'm pretty sure it was tomato juice. If we could come up with some sort of reason as to why he would come out empty-handed, some sort of proof, then I think we can dodge the bullet on this one for now. Proof, huh? Sounds like another job for the court record. Alright. Okay! We got something. Hold on. Job for the court record. We got the wine glass. We got the wine glass. Hopefully this is it. I'm gonna save again. On the off chance I'm wrong. On the off chance I'm wrong. I don't think I am, but on the off chance I am wrong, I want to be very careful. I don't want to screw this up. So, aha! Mr. Powers? Yes? You're easily influenced by other people's words, aren't you? As soon as you heard that the bellboy might have been the killer, you got caught up in believing it must be true. But, isn't he really suspicious? He's got all those stitches and... So, a baseball has stitches. Are you saying that all baseballs are suspicious because they have stitches? Well, there's also, I mean, what about him being empty-handed? I would like to ask the court to please take a look here. Alright. This is the crime scene. There's a wine glass sitting next to Mr. Kirita's body. The liquid inside this glass is tomato juice. And now, if you would look at what is on the top of the table in the lower right corner here, anyone can clearly see that there's a tray with a bottle of tomato juice on it. So yes, the bellboy had just brought this to Mr. Kirita's room. He left the tray in the room, which is why he was empty-handed when he left. Ah, but that would mean that the bellboy had seen and left a dead body in the room. Ah, but can you prove that Mr. Kirita was already dead at the time? Mr. Edgeworth? Yes. I blame you for being lead down this route. I'm terribly sorry. What's with him? Why is he laughing? Isn't there one more thing you would like to share with us? Is there? The bellboy was empty-handed. Or should I say empty-handed. I recall you had something interesting to say about his hands. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Huh? What? Okay, this is gonna be... That bellboy, he was wearing gloves. Gloves? Yeah, pitch black leather ones. All the other bellboys don't wear gloves like that, right? Black leather gloves. Why didn't you mention this earlier? Sorry, it slipped my mind. Boy, does this make this bellboy look really suspicious. Alright, got to focus. I can't really get lax here. So what if he had gloves? A lot of bellboys wear gloves. Come on, Mr. Wright, that bellboy was wearing black leather ones. So, a football is made of leather? Are you saying that all footballs are suspicious because they are made of leather? Okay. But that man, he received a large roll of cash from the defendant. And then he was seen leaving the crime scene wearing black leather gloves. I don't think that even someone like myself can believe he was just another bellboy. It seems that we have finally come to an understanding. Now then, witness, please continue with the rest of your testimony. The rest? Oh yes, please tell us more. Okay! Alright. Their second meeting. Alright. After leaving Juan's room, the bellboy went and knocked on Matt's door, just like that. He gave something to the person inside the room. Then the old guy just left without even going into the room. After that, I went to the bathroom and then back to my seat. So the bellboy, after leaving the crime scene, next went to the defendant's room. Yeah, I kind of saw all that by accident. Some accident? I'd say you saw too much. And all of it was suspicious to high heaven. I think it's safe to say that we can no longer consider this bellboy to be normal. Now then, let's get started, shall we? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. Yes, Your Honor. Just keep stalling for time, Phoenix. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, we do have to be careful, though. Because if we screw up this trial, I get the feeling we're going to lose. Because there is a bad ending to this game, and I don't want it, and I will get an achievement for it, but I don't want to. That's an achievement I don't want to get, unless I'm feeling adventurous. After leaving Ron's room, pressing the thing, is that what you saw while you were busy spying? Excuse me? I may be a poor underpaid action star, but even I wouldn't stoop to spying. Well, I think the point is, where did you watch all this from, Mr. Powers? Oh, from the door of the bathroom with my left eye in a sort of sneaky spy way. I knew he was spying. Please, does it really matter if he was doing it over or underhandedly? What did the bellboy do next? That's all I care to know. He gave something to the person inside the room. Alright. Okay, gotta keep going. Gotta keep stalling for time. I said hold it. Okay. That's better. Ahem. What kind of statement is that? Please elaborate and give us a few more details. Oh, okay. I should probably ask him only one question at a time. Ask about the person inside. So, who took this something the bellboy handed off? Actually, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. Only an arm. Then you're saying you didn't see the person's face? Yeah. Well, it was Mr. Engard's room, correct? So it could have only been Mr. Engard himself, I'd say. And then, what did the bellboy do after that? Oh, so after he gave the person inside the room the thing... Ooh, wait a minute. Okay. Press... That's a little bit interesting that he... Okay, I said hold it. Okay. Okay, about the something. He gave something to this person. Yeah, and what was this something? Ha ha ha. If I remembered what it was, I wouldn't be calling it a something, would I? But this implies that something was removed from the scene of the crime. Are you sure you really can't remember, Mr. Powers? I think it was something kind of small. I would like to summarize the testimony up to this point, if you don't mind. When the bellboy left the crime scene, he immediately went to the defendant's room. There, he handed a small item of some sort to the person inside. As for the person who received the item, all you can see was the person's arm. Yes, it was just like that. Mr. Edgeworth, is all this really that important? Yes. Of course, Your Honor. I think this is of the utmost importance. This is whatever was removed from the crime scene was handed over to the client. Mr. Powers, please try to remember what it was the bellboy handed off. Well, let's see. I think it was... No. If you remember, please add it to your testimony. Yes, sir. If I saw it again, I could say for sure, but I think it was some sort of wooden statue. Do I have anything like that in my court record? I don't think I do. Oh. Yes, we do. A bear. Well, that confirms my suspicion. Well, let's present the bear then. This is the only thing I got. What's the point of that pregnant pause? Where did that objection come from? Well, speak up. It was me, Your Honor. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Wright, if you have something to say, please spit it out. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, Phoenix, deep breath. Mr. Powers, the something you saw... Was it this item? Oh, hey, that's it. That's the something. Wow, Mr. Wright, you really figured it out. If I recall, we found this at Mountain Guard's man. Oh. Oh, no. Well, shit. Okay, well, that's why we see... Then the bear was found in Mr. Guard's mansion would mean... Okay. Well, guess what I'm doing? Options. Okay, load. We're going back a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, present. Okay, I'm gonna just redo this entire section again. Okay, so I screwed up, is what we're saying. I'm just gonna redo everything I just did. And we're saving. I'm not going back after doing all of that. I'm back where I was. A statue? Yeah, it kind of looked like one, I guess. If I saw the actual thing again, I'd probably remember, you know? Looks like for this trial to proceed, I'm going to have to come up with whatever this statue thing is and show it to him. You're going to have to trust your instinct on this one and take a chance, Phoenix. Well, Mr. Powers, let's continue with your testimony. What did the bellboy do after that? Oh, do I have to show the bear? Oh, no. Where did this bellboy go after he left Mr. Guard's room? He opened the door to Viola Hall, went in there, and who knows after that, right? I do. I'm gonna head right out to the bathroom and then back to my seat. Okay. Did you see anything strange, suspicious, or just out of the ordinary at that time? Oh yeah, I saw that one thing. What? He saw something else? There was this jittery alien with a ray gun. It was watching Juan's door like some sort of stalker. Oh, I know. I think we can forget about the alien. Well, Mr. Power's testimony just now was just as vague as his first. It's all a little troublesome, isn't it? But I'm sure you can press him enough, everything will become clearer. Although, that just makes it harder on us, doesn't it? Talk about a lose-lose situation. Okay, so I am supposed to present the bear! I can't move forward! Present... Okay, so... Well, the only thing I can present is the bear. So... A wooden bear-shaped figurine. It's covered in many strange cuts. I'm going to... Back. I'm gonna save again and hope this is right. I'm gonna save again and hope this doesn't cost me. I knew, so the game was very much pointing me in the direction of the bear, because that's the only thing in my entire court record that's a wooden figurine. That is the only thing I've got, other than the stuffed bear, but the stuffed bear doesn't count. With love, Celeste is written on it. The only other thing I can think of is this wooden photo frame, but that's not going to do anything. I'm gonna present the bear, and if it screws me, I'm going back to my save. First things first, I'm gonna make sure I'm actually saved at the right... I'm gonna make sure I've saved again. Just to make sure I'm in a safe place. Presents... Bear. Okay. I don't want to do this. What is it, Phoenix? I have a feeling that something bad is going to happen once I show this. Mr. Powers, there's something you saw. Was this item? Oh, hey, that's it. Okay. Well, we found this at Managar's mansion. At the defendant's house. Alright. What does this mean? It's simple, Your Honor. Shelley and the killer assassinated Wakarin in his room, and then he stole this wooden bear from the scene of the crime. Then the bear being found in Mr. Guard's mansion would mean... It goes without saying, Your Honor. Mr. Guard's the killer's client. Order, order, order. I said order. Mr. Wright, this is the most unfortunate turn of events for you. Yeah. Sorry, Mia. No, it's alright. Your judgment was sound. Actually, I figured the bear would come up. If not now, then it would have later on. Even if he hadn't shown it to the court, I'm sure your friend Edward would have. Ah, I almost forgot that he knew about it too. I think it is clear that there is no need for us to continue this trial. I can't let this happen. I have to do something. There has to be something we've overlooked. Ah. Your Honor, a minute, please. Yes, Mr. Wright? There are still a few points left that we have not fully explored. What are you trying to pull? Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? The bear itself. The bear itself is very strange. So, options, save. That way we can, so let's investigate the bear. Because the fact that the bear is covered in weird slits makes me think something is off about it. So, I'm gonna investigate that. We obviously know, obviously Power's testimony is spot on. The person who received the bear, we know there's no doubt. So, what about the bear itself? I think it's very obvious that the bear itself is very questionable. The bear, Mr. Wright? This was found in Mr. Engard's mansion. However, Mr. Engard was arrested at the hotel that night, which means that since the murder occurred, he has not had a chance to go home. Oh. I think Your Honor has already figured out what I'm trying to say. It is not possible that it was Mr. Engard who took this bear to his mansion. Okay, that's the plot thread then. Well, why? That's very true. We didn't consider that point, Mr. Wright. Yeah. There was no way, time-wise, for the defendant to have taken this bear home. Phew. Disaster averted. And there goes Edworth. You haven't gotten the best of me yet, Mr. Wright. No, I have not. Huh? I remember it clear as day. Oh, I remember what you muttered to yourself at Engard's mansion. We have this area completely surrounded. There is no way for him to escape. I can't believe it. That butler. All this time, he was the killer. Oh, no. The killer and Engard were working together, so to speak. And the killer was hiding at Engard Mansion as its butler. What a bold move. The bear figurine was brought back to Engard Mansion by the killer himself. Then why the handoff? When it looked like he was about to be arrested, Engard had him do so. I assume because it would have been bad had the police found it during their investigation. Yes, but then why the bear? Well, Mr. Wright, you've been quiet for a while now. This is too much. Isn't there anything I can attack at all? I have to try. I have to find something else. What will you do now, Mr. Wright? Do you plan to... I plan to expose a clearly shaky place in Mr. Power's testimony. What? There is still another one? There is indeed, Your Honor, and it's quite a questionable point. What are you trying to pull? Edworth has no idea what's going on. Oh, well, we can't have that. Alright, Mr. Wright, what questionable point would you like to explore further? Oh. Alright, it said Power's testimony, so let's investigate that. But here's the thing, if Engard brought the bear home, then if he handed it back off to Killer, then why would he have... Let's try pressing some other things. It said Power's testimony. Mr. Power's testimony, of course. Huh? I know that my testimony was kind of shaky, but... Your insanity stupefies me, Mr. Wright. We already have clarified all questionable points during the cross-examination just now. Wasting time like this, calling the testimony questionable, I'd say it's your head that's questionable here. Alright, court record. Alright, options, load. We're going back. We're going back. The bear itself... Okay, so obviously Power's testimony... We know the bear itself is a thing, so let's just do that again real fast. Alright, and then I'm going to go into my Okay, I'm gonna go into my save, and I'm gonna save again over the one that I just did, so that I still have the bear information. Person who received the bear. There's one thing in Mr. Power's testimony that was very unclear, and that is the identity of the person who received the bear. I mean, yeah, obviously we found it in Unguard's house, but that doesn't mean he took it. I get where Phoenix is going. He is trying to stall the trial as long as possible. He gave something to the person inside the room. I'm sorry, but I only saw the person's arm. As long as we don't know who it was that took the bear, we can't be sure. Ah! What is it, Mr. Powers? If you're going to scream like that, then at least give us a good reason why. Oh, yeah, sorry. Actually, so, I remembered. I remembered who took the bear. What? Really? I mean, I only saw his arm. But, the arm... It was the Nickel Samurai arm, I swear it. You've got to be kidding. Are you sure of that, Mr. Powers? Yeah, I'm sure it was the Nickel Samurai. Order, order! It looks like you've dug your own grave, yet again. How many times is that today? I've lost count. So, the person who took the little bear was the Nickel Samurai. And, as we all know, Matt Guard is the Nickel Samurai. But that puts a hole in another... Thanks for the to the fence. We made this all the clearer. Oh, I think we've heard enough. We now know why this bear figurine was at the defendant's mansion. As well as who it was that received the bear from the assassin in his room. Everything has become very clear. The client who hired the assassin to commit the murder was Mr. Matt on guard. I see no reason for this trial to continue. Therefore, I will now hand down my verdict. Thank you, Your Honor, for your understanding. You see, Mr. Wright, you could not win against the truth, could you? I knew it would turn out this way. After all, what Edward has stated is the truth. Any last objections, Mr. Wright? Well, do I? What should I do? Well, we're not going to fight. Well, we can't fight the truth, obviously. That's not gonna be a thing. I'm gonna save. We can't fight the truth, but we should. But we do need to hold out long enough for We do need to hold out long enough for Gumshoe to do a thing. Raise an objection. I will now announce my... There is only one way for me to drag this trial out. The only thing I have left is this one dirty trick. Your Honor, right now we have these two reasons to believe my client is the assassin's client. Reason number one, he accepted the bear figurine from the assassin. Reason number two, that very same figurine was found at Guard Mansion. However, it's possible this is all the work of a certain other person. What are you saying? What I'm saying is, it's possible a different person is the killer's real client. Well, okay, the real client? Yes. Tisk tisk. Is this all you have? Well, now then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your theory. Who do you say is the killer's real client and therefore the real murderer? Huh. Well, I'm kind of screwed either. I did just save, so I'm probably fine, but... Who? Who indeed? Obviously, if we obviously pinning the murderer on the murderer himself probably isn't the smartest idea, so we're gonna go with somebody else. Somebody who could reasonably have pinned everything. Well, this is an interesting pickle, isn't it? I have to figure out a way to prove that my client was okay. So we gotta find somebody else to pin the blame on. This is what we're trying to do right now, I should mention. Well, if we're gonna be tricky and stick it on somebody else, there's also Agent who even admitted in her own testimony that she could have been wearing a spare steel samurai costume, nickel samurai costume. This is. We could pin it on anybody. We have to pin it on somebody. Couldn't be one, because he's dead. Obviously, we can't pin it on somebody who was murdered by the murderer. Matt, we're trying to protect at least for now. Wendy, we can't. Old bag, we can't really do anything with. If I'm wrong, I'm screwed. But I'm gonna. I can't pin this up. I can't. If it is indeed, oh, okay, I'm looking it up. If it is indeed Adrian, this is gonna be bad. Hold on, I'm looking this up. This is nutty. I don't know who. I don't know. I don't perform well under pressure. Hold on a second. Okay, it is Andrews. So we gotta press this. So we gotta just press her. Just present her. Since obviously she was wearing a costume, that is indeed my logical course of action. I don't want to have to do this, but if it'll delay the trial, I must. Adrian Andrews? Yes, we already know that she tried to frame Matt and Guard for the crime by wearing a spare Nickel Samurai costume. Ah, then the Nickel Samurai's arm that I saw, that could have been very well been Miss Andrews. But what about Mr. Engard? If you would please recall yesterday's testimony, the defendant was taking a nap during the break period. That's right. Then, finding this figurine at Mr. Engard's mansion was a well-laid trap set by Miss Andrews. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion on this? I can't even begin to count the flaws in this defense's logic. Besides which, there's no evidence to support it. However, I can't fully discount its possibility either. What is with this trial? Come on, anyone can tell Engard did it. I can't believe the defense would go so far as to pin the guilt onto someone else. Yeah, unbelievable. It's not something petty, it's murder of all things. This is to save Maya. This is to save Maya. Even if the whole world turns against me, this is one fight I can't give up on. Order, order, order! All disruptive parties will be forced to leave the courtroom. Your Honor, for the benefit of the defense, I'm willing to play along with his what-if game. His what-if game, Mr. Edgeworth? The prosecution is prepared to challenge the defense's theory. Mr. Wright, even you must have thought that strange and wondered, why would the criminal want this little wooden bear? He's right. The killer did specially bring that bear to Engard right away. Why do you ask? Is there something special about it? Absolutely. And I'm sure that once the court knows its significance, the true killer's identity will become crystal clear. Your Honor, the prosecution calls upon a witness who will clear all doubt against Miss Andrews. And who would that be? It's quite simple, Your Honor. Miss Andrews herself. Fair enough. Alright, I see. Well then, the court will take a short 10-minute recess. The prosecution will prepare its witness in that time. Yes, Your Honor. Okay, so, I'm not sure if the... Okay, March 23rd, 11:54 a.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Also, I count shenanigans. There was no way we were in there for 2 hours. That took an hour at most. I have a timer. I am pretty confident that it didn't take nearly that long. It took an hour. Ha ha ha. Oh, I knew it was a good idea to hold her hostage. Don't you agree, Mr. Lawyer? But I never thought in your desperation you tried to pin the guilt onto Adrian. I swear this demon will pay. Mr. Nick! Pearls? Where's Mia? I don't know. A really strong power suddenly called her away. A really strong power. Phone! Oh, Mr. Nick, your phone is... It's from Gumshoe. How's it going? Have you been hanging in there, pal? Yeah, sort of. We just barely found something to latch onto. Phew, that's good, pal. And what about you? Anything yet? Have you figured out where the killer and Maya are? We still don't have any leads, but... What? We don't have any more time! If we just had one, even a single clue would be really helpful. I was only able to come this far because I kept thinking to myself, I've got to keep this trial going until Maya's been rescued. But have I just run out of luck this time? Is it all our hope for naught? A tent. Huh? A tent? I could see a circus tent. Mia. It looks like Maya was unconscious until just a few minutes ago. As soon as she woke up, she called for me. So it was Maya that called you away. She's locked in a dusty little room right now. But I could see a circus tent outside the window about 300 feet away. The Big Berry Circus. Gumshoe. Is there a circus tent in town right now? There's only one, pal. The Berry Big Circus. Yeah. Maya's somewhere within the 300-foot radius of the main tent. What? Okay, hold on a sec, pal. Hey, draw a circle on that map, about a 300-foot radius from the main tent. Hurry! And I could see a mailbox under the window, just outside. Gumshoe, there's also a mailbox. Okay, what else? What else, Mia? I'm sorry, but it was a very small window. I couldn't see anything else. I felt like I was in an old office building, maybe the 3rd floor or so? I heard her, an old office building. Good stuff, pal. Okay, just hang in there. Just a little longer, pal. Wish us luck. Good luck. I'll call you later, so don't let your battery die, okay, pal? Beep. Mia, Maya's not hurt, right? She's in a pretty bad state, Phoenix. She's being starved. Gumshoe, please hurry. Looks like we're out of time. Are you alright, Phoenix? It's only a matter of time before Maya's rescued. I can do this. I just have to make this trial last a little longer. Okay. Oh, we're going right back into the trial. Okay. How long is this? If that's the case, I may need to change the thing in my camera, because I only have like an hour of footage left. If it keeps going longer, if it goes much longer, I'm probably going to be screwed. Alright. Court will now reconvene. The killer, the man who murdered the victim, handed this to his client. From this, one obvious question arises. Why this particular item? I believe the answer to that question will provide us with the name of the real culprit. Now then, the prosecution calls the defendant's manor, Agent Andrews, to stand. Alright. Currently, the witness is accused of tampering and obstruction of justice. However, you have been called to the witness stand today to ascertain who exactly is guilty of murder. I understand. Very good. Now, have you ever seen this bear before, Miss Andrews? Of course I have. You have seen it before. That's right. It's only natural that the witness has. Miss Andrews, could you please enlighten the court to this bear's secrets? Alright. Why? Why does she... She knows what the bear is? The bear figurine! Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. At its center is a small cavity with just enough room to store a small item. Because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. You really can't tell it's just a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Alright, so it's a puzzle box. So this figurine, it's a container of sorts, is it? Yes, looks can be deceiving, wouldn't you agree? Yes, this is superb craftsmanship. Oh, yes, I nearly forgot. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. It looks like there really was something to that bear after all. Yeah, let's just press this and hope we're right. Okay. Actually, this is an elaborate puzzle. Okay. A puzzle. So the bear is just a puzzle box then. It's a puzzle box designed to, where you open it and then put something inside. That's what those are called. It's a bear-shaped one, but it's a puzzle box nonetheless. But it looks like an ordinary figurine. True enough. To people who don't know, I'm sure they would never guess that this was a puzzle. So what kind of puzzle is this exactly? If you know the correct order, it can be taken apart one piece at a time. So you can take it apart, and how would one go about doing that? Well, your first turn its tail to the right and then push it in. Oh, yes, I see. After that, the arms and legs are free to move and can be removed. Oh, this is most interesting. A boy and his new toy. It's like he's 5 all over again. Oh, don't mind me. Go ahead and carry on. I think he's lost it. So, what do you find after you take the puzzle apart? Alright, at its center is a small cavity, just with enough room to store an item. What kind of item would be in the bear? And how do you know about this? I know because I was the one who bought it. Huh? It was a souvenir from when a friend and I went to Switzerland. Then this was a present from you? That's right. It was a puzzle in the shape of a bear, so I thought it would be perfect for Juan. So it was a present from Miss Andrews. Witness, let's continue with your testimony. Alright, because of its complexity, if you don't know the order, you can't open the bear. Alright. So who exactly knew how to solve this puzzle? Only the two of us, Juan and myself. It was a souvenir from Switzerland, so I doubt there are many people with the same bear in this country. But this looks like it could be easily broken, especially if someone wanted to get at what's inside. Well, it's a toy, but it can never be the same again once it's been broken. You really can't tell that it's a small jewelry box just by looking at it. Alright, who else knows that this bear is actually a small container, or a jewelry box? I never told anyone. And as long as one never told anyone either, then only the two of us knew. The two of you, huh? Then, of course, that means Mr. Engard didn't know, right? I think this is about all I'm gonna get for now. Alright, figure with a hollow inside. Only Karita and Andrews knew how to open it. And Edward's got a funny look on his face. Well, Mr. Wright, I think even you have come to realize that there is only one important fact we have uncovered, and that is that this bear is actually... Oh, my controller died! Hold on a second. I'll put... Okay, I'll put the batteries away later, but... This bear is actually a jewelry box. Now that we have agreed to this point, there's only one logical question that can come next, and that is this. What is inside this box? What's inside? That's right. That's what we are going to find out next. Witness? Yes? You are the only one who can open this. Please. Okay. There is a painful silence hanging over the courtroom. All eyes are on Miss Andrews now as she solves the puzzle and takes the bear apart. What's in... Click? Click. I've opened it. What's inside? Is this what you wanted? What is that? It looks like a note. Oh. I don't think we need to guess at what it is, do we, Mr. Wright? It's the suicide note. The suicide note? The suicide note left by Juan Carita's former manager, Celestian Pax. Up until now, no one knew of its whereabouts, but just as we suspected, it was hidden. Hidden by the victim, Juan Carita himself. It seems Celestian Pax had very beautiful handwriting, and she had just as beautifully signed her own name on this document. This is most definitely the note she left right before she committed suicide. Whoo, boy, we're screwed. Order! Witness, did you know about this? Yes, I did. I heard all about it from Juan. When I discovered his body, I looked for the bear. I wanted to destroy the note before it became public, but I couldn't find it anywhere, because it had already been taken by the killer. Everything is going at Mr. Edward's pace. So now that the suicide note has been found, what's the next logical question? What is written on the notes? That's right. At least, that's what I would think. Now then, I believe it is only appropriate the contents of this note be made known. I can't stop you, can I? I went through so much just to get my hands on it. And I was going to burn it. For her sake. I'm deeply sorry, but I can't allow you to persuade me to stop. Your Honor, if you could please read the contents of the note aloud. Very well. The judge's voice rang out loud and clear throughout the deathly silent courtroom. In her notes, Celestian Pax left to us a record of all that had happened to her. About being used and then thrown away by Engard. About being engaged to Karita and Engard's role in destroying that. And about how she decided, in her despair, to end it all. And that's all Miss Impax had to say. There's one thing I would like to say here. The prosecution has no interest in slandering Mr. Engard. Then what? Our intention, Your Honor, is to establish a motive for murder. Isn't that correct, witness? Yes. On the night of the murder, Juan was going to make the contents of the note public. After the post-ceremony show, he was going to hold a press conference. My word! Mr. Engard values, above all else, is refreshing like a spring breeze image. Which is why he had to stop this note from being made public. At any cost. / suicide note added to the court record. Why is that evidence, then? If this is the end, then why is it evidence? I still have a shot. It's Engard's fault that woman killed herself. And this time, he even went so far as to kill someone to stop him from revealing that. How terrible. What a selfish person. I guess there are slimeball lawyers out there who will defend these creeps too. There's no room for doubt here. Mr. the Killer's client's goal was to obtain this suicide note. And the only person who needed this note that badly is the defendant. Let's not forget that the bear with this note inside was found at the defendant's house. It seems that we have come to the truth at last. The defendant's motives were entirely selfish. He deserves no sympathy from anyone. How am I supposed to escape from this one? Why the hesitation, Phoenix? Gumshoe hasn't called yet, so you know what you must do. I know. I have to carry on and buy him some more time. Okay. There are 2 deadly pieces of evidence. The figurine and the suicide note. Maybe somehow I can find a way out of the situation through one of those. The gavel is already in the judge's hands. Phoenix, hurry. The suicide note or the figurine? Which one of these should I pursue? Ooh. Well, the figurine I think is a dead end. I'm gonna... Options? Save? I'm gonna make sure... Don't want to screw this up. So, either the figurine or the suicide note. I don't think the suicide note... I don't think the figurine's gonna wield anything for me, so... The suicide note? Well, one of these is correct, so I gotta go with one. Obviously we've already exhausted everything the figurine can do, but the suicide note. Suicide note's been building to this, so it's been building to that. So let's try something with the suicide note and hope I'm right. Hold on, I have my guide open still. I'm gonna see if that is indeed what I need to do. I'm gonna just push whichever, because the guide doesn't really say which one is which. Either one matters. Just place the I'm just gonna play with the suicide note and see if that goes somewhere.
Objection!
Please wait, Your Honor. Oh man, look at that lawyer. He's still going at it? It's like he doesn't care that he's trying to get a killer off the hook. I think Your Honor believes that Manengard killed in order to obtain this note. Yes, that is correct. But that seems a little strange. In fact, I think there's a contradiction here. This note was hidden by Mr. Kurita until the night of the murder. If that's the case, I'd say that Manengard could not have known that what was written on this note. He's got a good point. Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Exactly. But I did think of it that way, and I thought it was rather strange. No one in the right mind would kill for a note without first knowing what it said. Order, order, order! You make a valid point, Mr. Wright. Mr. Edgeworth, what is your opinion? It was just a flash, but I think I did rather well on this one. Unfortunately, I think he believes differently. I believe a show of appreciation is in order. Huh? The defense seems to be in love with wishing more despair upon itself. Yeah, pretty much. That pretty much sums up the entire situation. I would like to direct the court's attention to this. What is that? It's a very small video camera, Your Honor. This type of camera is commonly used as a means of spying. Spying? What the... I thought that spy camera was in my possession. Manengard and the victim both thought of the other as their biggest rival. They even went so far as to use this type of item to find each other's weaknesses. And... the victim, Juan Kurita, was being spied on. His personal life was being watched by none other than Manengard. Order, order! Ahem, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. You... don't tell me you knew about your client's spying activities. Well, sort of. Sort of is not an acceptable answer, Mr. Wright. I see you are confused, Mr. Wright. You're probably thinking, but I have the camera that was in that stuffed bear's eye. But this camera that I have is not the same one. Last night, I searched the victim's house on a hunch. Using this, Gumshoe's bug sweeper. By the way, Mr. Wright, the defendant's fingerprints were found on this camera. Mr. Engarde's fingerprints were on there? Well, Phoenix, it looks like those cameras were hidden all over the place, huh? What am I supposed to say to the evidence? I think this is the end. It's fairly obvious that Mr. Engarde's learned of the suicide note through this. He was watching the victim all along. He got me good this time. I don't have anything to counter that. Hey, now what's that Laura thinking? Mommy, is that man the killer guy? Shush, stop, don't look at him. The way he's sweating is just so, ew, nasty. Phoenix? Yes, Chief? Have you figured out what you're going to do next yet? What am I going to do next? Does running away like a frightened child work? I know it seems like Mr. Edgeworth is very close to putting the lid on this case, but in his eagerness to prove his point, he forgot one very important thing. Well, what is it, Mia? There's a piece of evidence that he really should investigate. Something he should investigate. I would really hate to see the good prosecutor get scolded for not remembering to look into the item when he had the chance. Why are you speaking in riddles all of a sudden? Alright, I think this time we finally understand everything. Well, Mr. Wright, you don't have any further objections, do you? I actually do. What is this piece of evidence that Mia's talking about? Can I figure out what it is that still needs to be looked at, or should I let it go? I need to figure this out. So, obviously present evidence, because obviously Mia's being coy. I have an objection, Your Honor. That was about the weakest objection I've ever heard, Mr. Wright. Your Honor, the defense has no intention of letting this go so easily. You're beginning to sound desperate. That's just your imagination, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth, this is not like you at all. In your eagerness to prove your points, you've forgotten one very important thing. Hey, isn't that what I just said? I'm paraphrasing. So, you're telling me that I forgot something. You're so close, Mr. Edgeworth. But there's something you really should examine about this piece of evidence. I don't know what the evidence actually is, so I'm gonna go open up my guide again. Oh. Okay, hold on. So, a suicide note hasn't been analyzed. We don't actually know it's actually Miss Celeste's handwriting. So let's present the suicide notes. That is Miss Impact's suicide note, right? Who knows? Now he's getting it. I mean, sure, this suicide note was found inside this bear, but this bear was in my possession until only a few moments ago. Which means the handwriting on the suicide note has yet to be analyzed. Oh, so as to whether this pivotal piece of evidence was really written by Miss Impact or not, this is yet to be proven, even remotely confirmed. But Mr. Wright, you can't seriously be suggesting... Mr. Wright, are you saying the suicide note is a fake? Miss Andrews, you were the one who tried to pin this murder on Mr. Engarde. Who says you didn't create a fake suicide note and put it in this bear? How dare you? Your Honor, the defense is indiscriminately accusing the witness again. There's no evidence linking the witness to the suicide note whatsoever. But if this is a fake, then the witness is the only person who could have made it. What? Recall the witness testimony concerning this figurine? The only person other than the victim who could solve the puzzle is the witness herself. He's got a point. Miss Andrews, you wrote this note, didn't you? You wrote it so you could use it to frame Matt Engarde. I didn't know such thing. Right? If you're going to pronounce this suicide note a fake, then show this court some evidence to support your theory. Mr. Edgeworth, you were the one who presented this scrap of paper as evidence. That means the burden of proof lies with you, the prosecution. He's got a point. That's enough. Mr. Edgeworth, can you confirm the handwriting on the suicide note? It is as the defense has stated, the handwriting has yet to be analyzed. If that's the case, it seems that yet again we have reached a point where a verdict is impossible. That's impossible! This isn't good, Phoenix. The judge is going to carry this trial over one more day. I don't think Maya will physically be able to make it another day. I didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have a choice. I requested both the prosecution and defense further investigate. Handwriting analysis my butt. That's just the lawyer trying to buy more time. And Guard is guilty. Look, any idiot can tell you that. I think we've reached the end of the line. Guilty! 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 Okay, they're chanting guilty. The court is not happy. What is that sound? It's Gumshoe. Hello, Gumshoe? What is with him? And what's with that sigh? Where's Maya? What happened to the killer? He got away. What? I'm sorry, pal. I really am. I don't know what to say besides I'm sorry. I wish there was some way to make it up to you. I really do. Anyway, what's going on? We found his hideout, pal. But the two of them were already gone. This is terrible. I'm going to keep looking for them, pal. Don't you worry. I just need a little more time. But don't tell me what we don't. We don't have any more. We don't have any more. Do you hear that? They're calling for his head. Mr. Wright, I can't. For us to come to this far end. Oh! What is it? Let me talk to Mr. Edgeworth. I can't do that. Mr. Wright, would you please get a hold of yourself? Yes, Your Honor. I am about to end today's proceedings. You may take your phone calls after. Hold on, Your Honor. Edgeworth, catch! Take that! Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you gotta buy us some more time. Court is in session. Wow, what a dick. I'm sorry, Your Honor. You were saying? Mr. Wright, this is a court of law. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I am reluctant to do this. However, it appears that I have no choice but to suspend proceedings until tomorrow. This time I really can't do anything. Court is now adjourned for today.
Objection!
Oh. Never mind! Edgeworth is going to help. Please wait, Your Honor. Edgeworth? What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I humbly request another 30 minutes of Your Honor's time. For what purpose? We can perform the necessary tests on this piece of evidence in that time. But can you really obtain your results in 30 minutes? I believe we can, Your Honor. But wouldn't it be better if we adjourn for today and then reconvene tomorrow? 30 minutes. Please, Your Honor. That's all I'm asking for. Please, Your Honor. Very well. At the prosecution's request, this court will now take a 30-minute recess. But be advised that I will not allow another recess today. I'm not sure if this is helping or hurting us. The court will now take its final recess of the day. Okay. Whew! March 23rd, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Right? Well, what's going on with my situation? The killer. It looks like he's got away again. 30 minutes? We can't find her in that time. Ugh. Beep. Report! Ah, is that Mr. Edgeworth? We don't have time. Just spit it out. Right. It looks like we just missed him, sir. But the killer left a few things behind by accident in his rush to get away. A few things. Can we use any of them as evidence? Ho ho ho! I thought you'd ask, pal. I've got the things he left with me right now and I'm on my way over. Really? That's odd. Any items like that are usually sent to the crime lab first. We don't have time to wait for those guys, sir. When those guys weren't looking, I swiped the stuff and ran. What? Well, I'm not a detective anymore, so I had to. I'm really sorry, sir, but I've got to put the law on hold for now. Sounds bad. I hope he doesn't get in too much trouble over this. With my hunk of junk car, I'll be there in about 20 minutes, sir. Don't worry, I'll be there. Wait for me. Alright, just get here in one piece. I'm on a mission and no one can stop me now, sir. No one. I'm pulling out all the stops and running every red light. Items left by the murderer, huh? Maybe there's something among them that will be decisive enough to end this. Uh-oh. That was bad. Hey, what's wrong? Detective Gumshoe, answer me! No one can stop me. He got into a car accident, didn't he? What happened? It sounded like he had an accident. I'm guessing his cell phone broke as well. What is he thinking? We've got to hurry and call for help. But we have no idea where he is. His cell phone is broken, and he wasn't driving a patrol car, so no radio either. Also, if we don't get those items before they do, the police will take possession of them. No, we can't let that happen. Well, if there is a way we can find out where he is, then we stand a chance. Why? Oh, why did Gumshoe have to get in an accident now? Is there any way to find out exactly where he is at this moment? There has to be a way. That's right, there is a way. What? How? I'm sure we can find out where Detective Gumshoe is through this. Oh, his... the radio transceiver, right? That's the only thing I have. Right, we've not in the middle of a mock trial here. I guess it won't work now. This is up to me. Alright, I'll think of something on my end. Don't get your hopes up too high, but I'll try my best. Didn't I say something wrong? Edgeworth? What is it? I don't have any right to judge anyone ever again. I know my client is guilty. But what I'm doing now, I'm pinning the guilt onto someone totally innocent and using the evidence to do so. It might be my turn to say, Defense Attorney Phoenix Wright chooses death. Right? It doesn't suit someone like you to cry useless tears. Whether you did your job well or not, that can only be seen after the verdict has been decided. The verdicts? Is Prosecutor Edgeworth here? Yes, Bailiff? There's a phone call for you, sir. They said it was extremely urgent. They're probably finished with the handwriting analysis. I have to go take this call. In the meantime, think hard about what it is you must do. To be continued. Okay. We're in a good spot. Okay, this is a sticky situation if I've ever seen one. But, okay, so here's the thing. Alright, so now we gotta keep... So now I think Phoenix seems to be questioning his ideals as a defense attorney here. See, we had to... So, what we had to do was extend the trial until Gumshoe could get back with some evidence that we could use to actually pin the crime on a guard and find Maya. But in the process, Phoenix kind of used the manipulated evidence in a way where he can continue to extend the trial, and he's not feeling too good about himself. So, yeah, I think now it's time for Phoenix to realize what kind of lawyer he wants to be. So, with that, I think we're gonna leave this episode here, but this is gonna be interesting. So, I believe this is where the good ending, bad ending comes in, because obviously, if we can't prove without a shadow of a doubt, if we can't find a way to actually pin the crime on a guard while rescuing Maya at the same time, then we're screwed. Obviously, the way we've set this up, Adrian Andrews is likely going to go to jail now because we've pinned the crime on her. So we're going to need to figure something out. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to leave it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter in the description below. Be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below as well if you want to help support me. It's only a couple bucks. It helps me out, and you guys get access to a bunch of cool perks. That are my way of saying thanks. So if you do want to go indeed support me and want to help support the show so I can actually make more stuff for you guys, then by all means, go check that out. Also, be sure to go check out my Twitch. I stream 2:30 Eastern Standard Time every Sunday. So if you guys want to go check that out, by all means, go ahead. The link is down in the description. And finally, if you want to see more content from me, then be sure to check out the videos linked in the end screen. The top video is the most recent video. It may or may not be this one. Whereas the bottom video is the video recommended to you based on what you've already seen from me. So, if you want to try something new or see more of what you like, then be sure to check both of those videos out. But, regardless of whether or not you do any or all of those things, Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!